to Arirang Cafe Special. Koreans love to travel. The statistics show last year alone, 13 million Koreans traveled outside, and we had only 6.5 million visitors. So we have huge surplus in terms of deficit, in terms of traveler. Not only that, Koreans are ninth biggest spender among world travelers. We spend about $18.9 billion every year. It's all because of the very three special guests who are representing their own country, France, Philippines, Thailand, who are doing so well here, so all Koreans travel outside. Anyway, tourism is a very important industry in the world, and I'm very happy to talk about tourism industry with these three experts. First, let me introduce from France, Mr. Philippe Barbieri, Director of French Tourism Agency. Next.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. You even speak Korean. Good. We have Mrs. Maricon Basco Ebron, Director of Philippine Tourism Department in Korea. Finally, we have Dr. Walalik Noipayak, Director of Tourism of Thailand.
안녕하세요.
Thank you. You all are very friendly. No wonder so many Koreans travel three countries. As I said at the opening, Koreans love to travel. But let me ask you first, how many Koreans do go to Thailand a year? Do you have statistics?
Yes, we have, for 3 consecutive years, we have 1 million Korean tourists visit our countries. And Korean tourists is around third highest numbers of the Thailand.
So we are the third largest country for Thailand.
Yes.
How about you in Philippines?
I'm very happy to announce that Korea is the #1 tourist in the Philippines. And it has been steadily growing, like double-digit figures. Last year alone, we registered 21% increase in Korean arrivals, and that a total of 654,000 Koreans arrived. And we're so happy to have them there.
And we spend a lot, right?
That's very true. Yes.
Mr. Barbieri, how about France? How many Koreans visit France a year, roughly?
So France is very far. So we don't have that many figures.
Oh, come on.
No, we don't have real statistics because we don't fill up the Koreans do not need visa anymore.
Okay.
So we don't have real precise statistics, but we can estimate around 300 to 350,000 Koreans going to France every year.
Every year. And then many of them will also transit. They'll use Paris, Charles de Gaulle, and go to different countries of Europe, right?
Yeah, this is taken into account. Usually when Koreans travel in Europe, they drop by France, but it's a 1 week to 10 days tour, including Italy, Swiss, Spain, France, and 2 or 3 countries within 8 to 10 days.
Approximately 80 million people visit your country a year, right?
Yes.
I know what you're going to say, but what is the secret? What is your weapon to draw so many people around the world to France?
I would say we are in the center of Europe.
Geographically.
Yeah, geographically. So in those 80 million, 85% are Europeans. And you know that in north of Europe it's very cold. So every time people from north of Europe, Scandinavian countries, Germans, British, when they want to go to the south, when they want to have sun, they cross France. And statistically they are considered as tourists. Even if they spend only 1 day in France, just to go from north to south, they are considered as tourists. So that's partly why we have so many tourists in the statistics. But the country is also offering so many beautiful things, from mountain to sea, from cultural events and shopping.
What about Philippines? Why Koreans go, and I mean not only for Koreans, but how I know that tourism industry brings become a good source of your national revenue.
Yes.
Why Philippines?
Well, for the Koreans, we capitalize on the proximity of Korea to the Philippines.
How
It's
many
only
hours
3 hours away. It's like, you know, in the morning you fly, and then in the afternoon you're in the beach. So, you know, the Koreans really enjoy short distance travel. And that's why we also have a lot of repeat visitors from Korea. Because if they don't, you know, they don't just visit one island. They want to visit 2 or 3 islands in a year. So we really are enjoying the, you know, the closeness of Korea to the Philippines. And, of course, the attractions that we have, natural attractions. We also have your mountains, beautiful mountains. We have the sea, and that's what most of the Koreans enjoy, the beautiful beaches in the Philippines. Of course, inexpensive food and shopping.
Those schools that Korean, you know, youngsters go to learn English.
That's right.
Is it a Philippine-established school, or is it like international school established by other, you know, international organization? I mean, how does it?
Yes, they go to international schools, and they also go to short-term schools, like just to learn English. What's also getting popular now is like what you call dive camps or golf camps. Children come to learn the language of golf while actually playing golf, and also learning the lingo of diving. So, you know, they know what is a T in English. So it's really very attractive for, you know, ESL program now.
I see.
Everybody's coming to the Philippines for that. And it has a multiplier effect because the parents come and accompany them. So it's not just one, but 2 at a time.
I can see that Philippines really enjoys Korean tourists. What about you, Thailand? How many Koreans you said coming to Thailand each year?
Each year we have 1 million.
1 million.
1 million.
And then entire foreign tourists visiting Thailand?
Thailand is, last year we nearly reached 14 million.
14 million. That's about the same number the Koreans travel outside. What attracts, I mean, why people go to Thailand?
Why people go to Thailand? They have many reasons to go to Thailand. But I think we have offered them kind of a culture, and then with friendly people, beaches, we have all except snow. We have everything, and then we have to spotlight our tourist attractions. Besides the tourist attraction, we have the wellness and spa, and then we have the health tourisms, medical tourisms. We have the many activities provided, ecotourisms. You can enjoy safari, elephant safaris, or diving, or cruising, many things, many activities. So we offer all, as I tell you, that except we don't have snow. If we can provide snow, we can do for you.
I know that many French go to Thailand or Philippines. Why do you think, as a European, go to, you know, Philippines or Thailand? Because of weather or what?
Oh, there are many reasons why a lot of French people are going to Thailand and the Philippines. Because of climate, first, but because also of the service, beautiful beaches and beautiful hotels.
Why Korea only gets 6.5 million people, although we try so hard? Can you tell us? I mean, what will make Korea more favorable tourism destination?
Actually, you're doing a lot already. The dramas of Korea is attracting a lot of tourists, particularly from the Philippines. I'm taking this as an example because just recently, Philippine Airlines, last year we started charters to Jeju, and this is basically to show the drama sites. So you see, there's a lot of attractions for Korea, but I think that there's not really much promotions being done on that side. I think that should be capitalized on by Korea. The Hallyu.
Hallyu,
Yes.
Korean wave.
That's right.
What about Thailand? What
Thailand.
could you say to us, to
I would
Koreans?
say that you are the new kid in the tourism arena.
Oh, we are new kid on the block, okay.
Yes, in the block. But this kid, I think that you can run very fast in a few years. Maybe you can receive more than 10 million because of the hospitality that counts very much for the tourism industry. Korean had a very friendly people. sometimes it's my own experience. I nearly get lost because I cannot speak Korean, but people very nice. Just try to explain me and try to know, to lead me to the right way, the right track, the right subway station. And that's how very much it's the same that in Thailand, that the people, very important factor for this industry, because tourism industry is the people-to-people industry.
You know, Mr. Barbieri, Korea is obviously located between two huge countries. We have 1.3 billion people of Chinese, 0.2 billion people of Japanese. So we are surrounded by huge population. Therefore, about 60% or 70% of our foreign tourists coming from neighboring countries. But then Koreans look at Europe, because we would like to, verify our, this market. What do you think, not as a French but as European, what do you think we should do further? What do Korean market will attract Europeans?
There is a lack of image, I would say, from Korea. So the first, among Europeans. In Asia it's different because there is Hallyu, but we don't have this in Europe. So for most of European, Korea is very far and we don't know so much about Korea. So I think the first step is to develop image. I know quite a few people here who are in charge to develop the image of Korea. Dr. Jongwa Che with CC, they are doing a great job, but there's still a lot to do. And maybe there would be something to be done with the two big countries to promote joint trips, China and Korea, Japan and Korea. I can tell you, among tour operators in Europe, it's very seldom that I can see a trip joining Japan and Korea or China and Korea. But for me, as a businessman, every time I try to attract people to come to Korea, it's always with a trip joint to Japan or joint to China. They will not come to Korea, 12 hours flight, only to go to Korea. So we have to take advantage of those two monsters and then to make them discover Korea. And then they will come back.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Mr. Barbieri, that Korea should acknowledge we should look at this niche market in between. That those who come to China, on the way to Japan, they just stop by. And then, I'm sure they find the difference between China, Japan, and Korea. And whenever we travel, a lot of people ask, do we speak Chinese? And do we eat Japanese food? So I say, yes, some of us speak Chinese, some of us love Japanese food, but we have our own language, we have our own food. It's tough to explain. So it's still, Korea is a long way to be known.
Develop the image.
Develop the image.
Have Korea known better.
For that matter, the Koreans makes beautiful product like Samsung, LG, and but strange enough, people who use Samsung and LG, they do not think it is made in Korea. That's a big problem,
So I agree with him that image. Yes, the making the image that will count very much for tourism industry. Image and branding. You get the good branding and you get a good PR like the Korean wave. And then this, I think if you want to penetrate to European market, so I think you have to focus more on the Korean wave.
In the Philippines, you still use WOW, W-O-W?
It is used in several other markets, but because our ad agency said, the Koreans don't really translate WOW as something like wow, So it has a different translation. That's why I don't use wow as my campaign in Korea.
What do you use?
We use sang-sang isang or more than you can imagine.
More than you can imagine.
Because like we have 7,107 islands and this is what we capitalize on, 7,107 things to do in the Philippines. So that variety.
And Thailand, you have been quite successful, called Amazing Thailand, right?
Yes.
Amazing Thailand. Do you use other slogan than Amazing Thailand?
We always focus on Amazing Thailand because
Amazing
this
Thailand.
Amazing Thailand is our brand.
Mm-hmm.
People are more familiar with the Amazing Thailand. We have promoted Amazing Thailand 10 years back, and we get a very successful campaign, and we get a good numbers of tourists coming to our country. Amazing Thailand is just not amazing, just the name only, but we mean that the products, the life. As you can see, amazing letters with many colors, many
Yes,
colors.
yes.
Colorful life. Once you visit our country, you can feel the life is very much of, you can say more than the life, it's the life itself. Lively, how you can say.
What about France? Do you have any slogan like that? Like, you know, look at Malaysia, truly Malaysia, Singapore, uniquely Singapore, and wow, or, you know, the
Sang sang isang.
Sang sang isang, that's more than imagined in Korean, and then Amazing Thailand, and incredible India. But what about France? You don't need a slogan because you already have established. Is that what it is?
Of course we need a slogan, but you notice that you only gave Asian countries, from India to Singapore to Thailand to the Philippines, but you didn't say anything for the States, you didn't say anything for Germany, you didn't say...
Because they don't have it.
Because we don't have the same kind of promotion, but we have a slogan in France, is Bienvenue en France, welcome in France. Welcome in France.
It's like Japanese, Yokoso Japan.
And but it's more oriented on the European people, as they are 85% of our tourists. So we are focused more on the European market. But there is Bienvenue en France, and this Bienvenue en France is also a chart where all people in the tourism industry, from restaurants, shops, hotels, they commit themselves to improve their service skills, to improve the language skills, and it's measured every year, and every year or every 2 years, in order to see if we are improving those service.
You know that, let's talk about tourism industry, really, that's what we talked about, fun part of it. But I think tourism industry once in a while is challenged. Right now, it'll be challenged by this climate change, you know, climate change, climate challenge. All this is going to be affected the tourism industry. And then I think France went a step further that you like to see is people who travel contribute for the, you know, poor people, conscious poverty, and you have airline tax levy. You call Chirac tax?
Yes, we do. that's how we call it in the...
Chirac tax, because President Chirac taxed it. But that is really, you know, you set up the example of that. And how does French support that movement, or what?
This sustainability issues are getting more and more popular, and people are getting more and more conscious. When this Chirac tax, if we can call it this way, but it was he was the one, this President Chirac, to launch the idea and to try to promote the idea among other presidents. It has not been easy. Not so many countries followed him. Korea did. A few months later, but now people are getting more and more conscious about it. It's not regarding climate change, it's more on poverty. In order to prevent poverty, and you know, France had a long history with Africa, and Africa is, you just told us that you came back from Ghana. You know how poor can Africa be, and how many diseases they can suffer from. So France is really much conscious about African poverty. So that's why we implemented this tax, and the money goes to Africa and not for climate change and all those kind of poverty. Regarding climate change, everybody is doing the best he can in order to reduce the carbon hydrates. And I'm the representative of Air France and KLM, You know that we consume a lot of kerosene in the aircraft, and we are proposing now, if you go on our website, to each passenger, every time they buy the ticket on the website, to compensate, to give an additional few Korean won, or 20 or 25,000 Korean won, to compensate the CO2 emission they will do, and it will go to an association, Good Planet, for Air France.
Tourism industry, as we discussed, it's a very fun part, as you say, people to people.
Okay.
That's people to people, you know, the business.
Interaction.
So anything can be good to tourism destination. For instance, Korea. Koreans' hospitality, big smile,
Yeah.
become an asset for tourism industry versus your, you know, very good price for the golfing and hotel and service, good price that
Yeah.
Philippines and Thailand offers. So for you, if there's anything you want to make some recommendation to Koreans other than making brand, you know, making image, what advice would you give Korean tourism industry to perk up the number of people who visit Korea?
What advice is that the participation, PPP, public-private partnership, that counts very much. So we go hand in hand, and then with the local people should be a part of the tourism industry. That's very
The local people in Korean.
Yes.
Okay.
They see the importance of tourism. We have, you can remember, maybe you remember, we have the Visit Thailand campaign
Right.
about nearly 20 years ago.
Well, there was conjunction your king's birthday, right?
Yes. And that's one, we make the people aware of the tourism industry, important to their lives, to their economy, and to the cultural development. So I think what's important is that everybody should be the part of the tourism industry.
Public education.
Partners.
What would you say?
That's true. I mean, we do the same way. In the Philippines, we empower the private sector because they are the ones who will really help boost travel and boost tourism. If I may relate to what Mr. Barbieri was relating earlier, we do have like something like an underwater tax.
Underwater tax.
That's basically like $0.50. It goes to the local community for them to take care of the corals, the you know, the dive sites and everything. But this goes to the private sector. It's just like, you know, giving them a stipend for them to go on and be watchful of the natural resources.
Well, half an hour already, really just like this, and they tell me we should stop talking.
Okay.
So thank you very much. And I know you work very hard to promote your country, but on the other hand, I know you, by promoting your country, I know you have some sort of dual responsibility, presenting Korea a nice place for your people to come. So I thank you very much for your day-to-day work. And especially thank you for joining Ayan Cafe Special. Let me finish this episode. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
This episode, you have heard 3 guests representing France, Philippines, and Thailand, and why people go to their country, as well as why people come to Korea, and with a good recommendation. As we said, tourism industry is very, very resilient industry. We survive, it's because of people. It's a wonderful diplomacy because it's people to people. Even Koreans were told that hospitality, kindness of Koreans could become tourism destination product. Thank you for joining Ayan Cafe Special. Until next time, goodbye.